Alrighty, guys, I'm now 6-0 on my last 6 daily best plays on my website. And if you want to see a video breakdown of every one of my personal bets here today, the only way you can do that is to watch my board member podcast. And the only way to access my board member podcast is to join my full access, all-inclusive board member package on my website. But before we get into some more of that, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my NBA free pick video here today for Sunday, February 26, 2023. Happy Sunday to you. Hopefully you guys are having a great weekend. Of course, my name is Brock Page. I've been giving out free sports picks right here on YouTube since 2016. I also sell my personal sports bets on patreon.com/BrockPage. Once again, guys, if you want to see a full video breakdown of every one of my personal bets here today, you can do that right now by becoming a board member on my website. Folks who are signed up to my all-inclusive board member package, they get access to my board member podcast every single day for the next 30 days. You also get access to every single personal play, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days as well. If you sign up here today, the math works out to be just $1.66 a day. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my website. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. What I do on patreon.com/BrockPage is I actually share with you which one of these free picks on these videos that I'm actually betting on personally. I currently have over 540 members who are signed up and active on my website right now. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to start off with the Suns-Bucks game, 1 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Milwaukee's -2.5, totals 228 and a hook. Now, the Bucks are most likely going to go to work here today without Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's currently doubtful with a quad injury. And even with recent meetings with Phoenix, the Bucks have had their issues defensively. They've allowed over 116 points a game in their last 10 gatherings with Phoenix. When it comes to shooting the basketball, the Bucks actually have one of the lower offensive field goal percentages in the Eastern Conference. They're facing a Phoenix team who won 7 out of their last 10, and they do a pretty nice job on the defensive end of the court. Matter of fact, the Suns are in the top 5 in the NBA in fewest points allowed per contest. DeAndre Ayton, he has a handful of blocks on the year, and he also averages 8 defensive boards a night. Now, Ayton's also the team's second leading scorer. Meanwhile, Devin Booker is scoring a team-best 26.5 points a game. When it comes to the injury report, KD and Shamet are still out for Phoenix. Meanwhile, for the Bucks, Matthews is out. Giannis is doubtful. Now, total-wise, the Suns saw 4 out of their last 5 road games stay under. They also went 70% to the under in their last 10 outings at any location. Now, the Bucks, on the other side of things, they went 60% to the under in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean toward Phoenix plus 2.5, under 228 and a hook. Next game, Nets, Hawks, 3 o'clock East. Atlanta's -5.5, totals 233. And even though the Hawks are favored in this one, they may have to go to work without John Collins here today. He's currently questionable, battling some concussion symptoms. And as a team, the Hawks lost 4 out of their last 7 losses to the likes of Charlotte and New Orleans. Now, they're facing a Brooklyn squad who's led by Nick Claxton. The big man's making a league-high 71% of his field goal attempts. Now, Claxton's also in the top 20 in the NBA in rebounds. Meanwhile, teammate Seth Curry, he's drilling over 42% of his three-pointers. Now, injury-wise, no real surprise here. Ben Simmons is still out. Hopefully, people continue to realize that this guy's a complete fraud. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, once again, John Collins is questionable. When it comes to the total, Brooklyn saw unders in 3 out of their last 5 ball games. Meanwhile, Atlanta went 6-3 to the under in their last 9. Give me Brooklyn plus 5.5, under 233. Next game, Lakers, Mavericks, 3:30 p.m. East. Dallas is -4, totals 236. And even though Dallas is the favorite at home here, they lost 3 out of their last 4. And they've done a poor job of covering the point spread this year. Out of 30 contests in their own building, the Mavs covered only 10 times. That's good for just 33% in that category. When it comes to rebounding the basketball, the Mavs are dead last in the NBA in offensive boards. Now they're taking on a Laker team who won 3 out of their last 4, and they do a nice job grabbing offensive boards themselves. The Lakers are currently in the top 5 in offensive rebounding, and they're also in the top 3 in road scoring. LeBron James scores over 29.5 points a game, along with 8 rebounds. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis, he's scoring 25 points a game himself. Excuse me. Wow. Anthony Davis, 25 points a game, along with 12 rebounds. Now, injury-wise, D'Angelo Russell's doubtful with an ankle. Meanwhile, for Dallas, Bertans and Kleba are still out for them. When it comes to the total, the Mavs are 60% to the over in the American Airlines Center. They also went 6-2 to the over in their last 8 at any location. Now, the Lakers saw overs against the likes of Portland, Oklahoma City, and New York. I'm going to lean toward the Lakers +4 over 236. Next ball game, Wizards, Bulls, 3:30 p.m. East. Chicago's -4, totals 226. And even though Kristaps Porzingis is out for Washington, we're still looking at a Chicago team on the other side who's playing some pretty bad basketball. These guys lost 6 out of their last 7, and they covered only 1 time during that time frame. When it comes to offensive production, the Bulls are currently, what am I trying to say here? The Bulls are currently in the bottom 10 in points per game. Now they're facing a Washington team who won Washington won 4 out of their last 6. And they play some pretty tough defense, especially on the road. Washington's in the top 5 in defensive field goal percentage away from home. They're also allowing fewer points a game on the road than most clubs in the Eastern Conference. Kyle Kuzma, he grabs 7.5 defensive boards a game. He's also scoring 21 points per contest. Meanwhile, Bradley Beal scoring over 22.5 points a game himself, along with 5 assists. Now, injury-wise, once again, Porzingis is out for Washington. Meanwhile, for Chicago, Goran Dragic is out for them. When it comes to the total, Chicago saw 5 out of their last 6 at the United Center stay under the number. Meanwhile, Washington 63% to the under in their travels. Give me the Wizards +4 under 226. Next game, Raptors, Cavaliers, 6 o'clock East. Cleveland's -7, totals 214.5. Now, the Cavs aren't playing good enough basketball right now to cover this number. They're on a 3-game losing streak, and they failed to cover in their last 4 straight. And in their last 10 head-to-head meetings with Toronto, the Cavs are averaging only 108 points a game. So if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. Now, as far as this year is concerned, Cleveland's one of the worst scoring teams in the NBA. They're actually in the bottom 5 in points per game. Now, they're facing a Toronto club who's in the top 10 in the NBA in fewest points allowed per game. When it comes to rebounding the basketball, they're grabbing more defensive boards than most clubs in the East. Pascal Siakam grabs over 5.5 defensive rebounds a night. He's also the team's leading scorer. Meanwhile, Gary Trent Jr., he averages over 18.5 points a game himself. Now, injury-wise, Freddie VanVleet is questionable for the Raptors. When it comes to the total, 3 out of Toronto's last 5 road games stayed under the number. Meanwhile, Cleveland saw unders against the likes of Chicago, Detroit, and Washington. I'm going to lean toward Toronto +7 under 214.5. Next game, Kings, Thunder, 7 o'clock East. Sacramento's -3, totals 240. Now, the Kings are scoring more points a game than any other club in the NBA. They're also in the top 3 in shooting from the field. Domantas Sabonis is making 61% of his field goal attempts. He's also leading the league in rebounds. Meanwhile, De'Aaron Fox, he's scoring a team-high 25 points a game himself. They're facing an Oklahoma City squad who lost 3 out of their last 4. And they're also going to work without leading scorer Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai's currently out with an ankle injury. And in these teams' last 10 head-to-head meetings, the Thunder averaged only 107 points a game, and they lost 7 times during that span. As far as this year's concerned, OKC's the worst defensive rebounding team in the game. Should be a big night for Domantas Sabonis. Now, total-wise, Sacramento went 7-1 to the over in their last 8. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City's 62% to the over in the Paycom Center. Give Give me Sacramento -3 over 240. Next matchup, T-Wolves, Warriors, 7:30 p.m. East. Golden State's -3, totals 234. And whether they're healthy or banged up, the Warriors continue to win at the Chase Center. They got the W in 4 out of their last 5 at home. And they have a .767 win percentage in their own building this year. Klay Thompson, he's drilling nearly 41% of his three-pointers. And he also leads the active roster here today in points. Meanwhile, Jordan Poole's dropping over 20.5 points a game himself. They're facing a Minnesota squad who lost 3 out of their last 4. And they have a tough time getting the W on the road. These guys are 11-17 while traveling. And they're one of the worst rebounding teams in the Western Conference on both ends of the court. Now, injury-wise, Taurean Prince and Jalen Noel are both questionable. Meanwhile, for Golden State, Draymond Green is questionable for them. Andrew Wiggins is out. When it comes to total, Golden State's gone 60% to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Minnesota saw their last 4 straight on the road get over the total themselves. Give me Golden State -3 over 234. Next game, Rockets, Blazers, 9 o'clock East. Portland's -9.5, totals 232. Now, the Blazers are scoring more points a game at home than most clubs in the West. They're averaging 120 points a game in front of their own fans, and they're drilling just about 40% of their three-pointers there. Jeremy Grant's knocking down just about 41% of his long balls. He also scores 20 points a game. Meanwhile, Dame Lillard's averaging a team-best 31 points a night himself. He's currently 3rd in the league in scoring. Now, they're facing a Houston team who hasn't won a game since February 1st, and they have the worst record in the NBA. And no real surprise here, guys. The Rockets are currently the worst shooting team in the association right now. When it comes to the injury report, Green and Porter are out. Meanwhile, for the Blazers, Nurkic, Winslow, Arcidiacono, Simons, and Badji are out for them. Now, total-wise, Portland saw 7 out of their last 10 ball games get over the number. Meanwhile, Houston saw overs recently against the likes of Phoenix, Sacramento, and Toronto. Give me Portland -9.5 over 232. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It is going to be Clippers at the Nuggets, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Denver's the 2-point favorite, totals 229.5. Now, the Nuggets are the best shooting team in basketball. They're making 53% of their field goals at home, which actually leads the NBA. They're also drilling a league-best 41% of their shots from three land at home as well. Nikola Jokic is drilling 40% of his long balls. He also leads the team in points. Now, Jamal Murray's averaging just about 20 points a game himself. They're facing a Clipper team who failed to cover in 4 out of their last 6. Now, these guys have also had significant problems on the offensive end of the court. The Clippers are averaging fewer points a game than most teams in the Western Conference. Now, injury-wise, Zubac is out for the Clippers. Meanwhile, for Denver, Gordon and Nagy are questionable. When it comes to the number, Denver saw 3 out of their last 4 at the Ball Arena get over the total. Meanwhile, LA's 21-12 to the over in all of their road games. I'm going to lean toward Denver -2 over 229.5. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Give me Phoenix +2.5, under 228 and a hook. Brooklyn +5.5, under 233. LA Lakers +4, over 236. And one final reminder, guys, I'm currently 6-0 in my last 6 $1.99 daily best plays on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. I like the Wizards +4, under 226. Give me Toronto +7, under 214.5. Sacramento Kings -3, over 240. Golden State -3, over 234. Portland Trailblazers -9.5, over 232. With my next and final free pick, give me Denver -2 over 229.5. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my website. If you guys do end up getting a package here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just keep in mind, guys, you're going to get access to that content for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus here, guys, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks to sign up for my board member package. It's a full access, all-inclusive membership. You get access to every single personal play, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. If you sign up here today, the math works out to be just $1.66 a day. That's cheaper than your daily cup of coffee. And also, guys, if you sign up for that board member package, you're also going to get access to the all-exclusive board member podcast. That's going to be included with your purchase as well. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on TikTok or YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And that's it, guys. Happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.